Good morning. I am just going to say that it's around 10:30-ish for these lives because I just got back from breakfast with some friends, and then I was talking to my sister about some makeup issues. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great morning. Mine started out really well with breakfast with some friends, like I just said. And so today I want to talk about a little bit, hi Joanna, about what I left off with actually yesterday. So I shared that I struggled with thinking that I wasn't worthy of friendships. And I know that kind of left a lot of people going like, what? Why would anybody ever think you're not worthy of a friendship? Hi, Nicole. So I realized that a lot of that unworthiness over the years, as I started to get to know myself, this business is really a business of self-reflection when you really start to dive into it. And the reason why is because you are, when you start to sponsor people and show them the ropes, they kind of rely on you to show them the ins and outs, right? And so you're looked at kind of like a mentor, supervisor, you would think in like the outside world terms, but not exactly like to supervise to, it's your own business, but it's somebody that you can look to for guidance, right? And so when I took that role on, it makes you reflect on who are you? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the skill? Is what you're doing something you can teach? Things like that goes through. And so it started to make me realize that it made me realize what low self-esteem I had. And I found myself watching people in the beginning of my business when I would go to like our Scentsy family reunion. I went to my very first one, only like 3 months into the business. My sponsor basically told me you can't afford to not go. And even though it cost money, a registration, and you have to get yourself there and feed yourself and get lodging and stuff, what she said to me was one of the most powerful things. And that really was, you can't afford to not go. And so I thought about that and I was like, wow, I'm basically going to be forking over my first paycheck to go to this convention, it was called back then. So I got there and I realized that I was not the kind of person that liked to be alone. I realized that I've always surrounded myself with people that I was comfortable with, family, friends that I've been around a lot. And it was the first time I was literally in a place that I didn't know anybody. I barely knew my sponsor. She went with me. And so I was really pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I was rooming with her and one of her friends. I didn't really know them. But I realized that I wanted it that bad, that I was willing to put myself in a very uncomfortable situation, a very foreign situation, that I was willing to do those things in order for me to build a business, and not be in the position that I was when I joined, which was broke. Okay. So I remember walking around the convention and really feeling kind of like anxiety, like I don't know anybody. I started seeing people with just like hugging each other and excited, like they've known each other for years. And I was just like, I don't know anybody, and I've never really had that kind of relationship with anybody. And it really started to kind of make me think like, why have I never really had friends like that? And it made me realize that I've always closed myself off to people for that opportunity to receive relationships like that. And I honestly, when I really, really dig deep, I don't really know what it was that triggered that specifically, but I was actually just talking to a couple of my friends. Hi, Diana. Diana's on. I was just having breakfast with her. I was telling her how, 0 to 5 is just, not like I was teaching her this, but I was talking about how 0 to 5 is such a big, impactful age, right? And that's when I lost my father. And I realized that I, for the longest time in my life, would not let people get close to me because I was scared of them leaving or, losing them. And that's pretty deep, right? But, and it's crazy, when people say, Scentsy helped you figure this out? Like, yes, because it really makes you go, it makes you think, like, if you're not in a position that you're comfortable in, it makes you say, well, why not? Why am I not comfortable? Why does being in a room full of people that are happy and love each other and just you see the love, why does that give you anxiety? Well, it's because I don't know what that feels like, except for like maybe close family members, like with my sisters or my mom. And I realized that I never gave myself the opportunity to have that kind of relationship. I have one friend that I've known since I was 10 years old. We're still best friends, but I moved away when I was like 12. So we did everything together. And that was another heartbreak in my life, is that she was my everything. We did everything together. Every moment that we could be together, we were together. And then I moved away. And that was so hard for me to lose my best friend. Although I didn't lose her because she's still my best friend to this day. But it impacted me harder than I thought until I started to really dig deep. And Scentsy got me doing that. At that convention, it made me start to really say, you know what? I don't want to be like this anymore. I want those kind of relationships. I want to be able to see people and be excited and then be excited to me. And hey, Brian, I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been, buddy? Hi, Gabriella. So since he started to make me really, really dig deep into all of the stuff that's been just kind of pushed down for my entire life and discover why I didn't have more confidence in myself. Like, why do you not like yourself? Why do you not think that you, and so it wasn't necessarily a worthiness thing. It was a fear of having a relationship and then losing it. But once I realized that friendship is it's reciprocal. Other people want friendships. It wasn't just me starving for relationships. They did too. And so by sponsoring new people into the company and them needing my attention, needing me to share with them, it made me realize that, wow, I actually have something to provide, to share with. And at that point, I shared with you guys yesterday that I really didn't feel like I had anything to give until I did. Until it had nothing to do with me, but it was stuff that I was able to share, right? Then they started to see the things that I was personally doing and wanted to know. And so it started to build my confidence up of like, wow, you're actually doing something really well here, Jess. I was being recognized by the company. I had, they did like a spotlight in our workstation of, a sensational start. And I still have a picture of it. I had the binder right here, actually. But I had never been recognized like that. And so it started to make me say, so if these people are recognizing that you're doing good things and you're, a good person, why don't you recognize that, Jess? And so the one thing about this business is that it just pours so much love onto you that you almost can't deny it. When, people are telling you that what you do and who you are is making them feel good and changing their lives and adding value to their lives, it makes you kind of have to say, well, there's got to be a reason why these people feel this way, why the company feels this way about you. And that's how my confidence started to blossom, of stepping into my own self, into my own being of, I was created for a reason. And then I started to mirror that knowledge that I know that, we're all created in God's image. But it was Scentsy that made me start to realize that because of their constant influence and I don't even know what the word is, but by the people that were pouring all this love onto me, I realized that's what God is. God is love. And so that's why I actually had somebody tell me, say to me once, I really I want to get started with this, Jess, but do I have to be like all crazy and like culty like all of you guys are? And I was like, oh gosh, they think we're a cult. That's awesome. But I could see why some people think that we're like a little over the top, and because it's like we're so happy and bubbly and love each other and this and that. But isn't that what life's about? Shouldn't everything be like that? And so it's so funny how people will label something so positive as such a negative thing, and it's sad to me, actually. Hi, Sabrina. So some of the other things that came to mind, really fast, my friend Rachel that I talked about yesterday, I said that I met her from Scentsy. Now, I'm quite sure she probably in her mind was saying, no, you didn't, Jess. Our kids played on the same baseball team, and that's how we met. But in my perspective, from my point of view, we met because of Scentsy. And what I mean by that is that Scentsy is my comfort zone. I know that sounds crazy because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, that's so out of my comfort zone. The reason why Scentsy is my comfort zone is because I know it. I live it. It's happy to me. It makes me be me. It lets me be able to be the person that I am. And so one thing she'll probably remember is that I wasn't the mom that was like, hey everybody, how you doing today? I was the mom that was off in the stands by myself, didn't talk to anybody, because I know by doing a Facebook Live every day, people don't believe me, but I still am kind of a shy person. Until I'm in a comfortable area, if I know the people, then I start to open up, but it takes me a minute. It takes me sometimes longer than a minute, but it took me to ask her if she can help me smell some fragrances to decide what I should be warming when I was going to an event in California that weekend. So that was my comfort zone of like, I want to get to know these ladies, but I don't know how to do that. So this is a tool for me. This is a tool for me to be like a icebreaker, if you will, to say something to them, but in my comfort zone. So by me asking them to these three ladies, can you smell these for me and let me know what you think is the best fragrance? And that's how our conversation blossomed. She obviously became a customer because she loved the fragrances, but she actually joined for a little while. But that's how our relationship blossomed, by her becoming a consultant and me being able to share with her how to do the things she would need to do when she's starting her business. We were also able to get to know each other on a personal level. And she was able to understand why I was shy. She was able to understand why Scentsy is everything to me. And so it's Scentsy is just something about it. You'll find that there's a lot of shy people that do very well with Scentsy, because Scentsy is the thing that it's the icebreaker for us. When somebody says, oh, I have a Scentsy shirt on, and somebody says, do you sell Scentsy? I light up, I turn on. But I'm not the kind of person that would walk up to somebody and be like, hi, do you know what Scentsy is? I did it in the very beginning because I was so desperate to build my business, but it was the hardest thing I could have done at that time. So are you the same, Nicole? That's awesome. Yeah, you'll find that there's a lot of very successful, happy people that aren't exactly the ones that are going to just, introduce themselves and share their business and like that. So a lot of people especially when Mason starts a new baseball team, and then people find out the position that I am in Scentsy, they're like, how the heck did she get to where she's at? Because she doesn't even talk to anybody, until I'm able to feel comfortable. And so I use Scentsy as my icebreaker. Now, I'm fine if they don't buy from me, host with me, join with me. I just want to get to know people. And so that is my personal way to do that. So he literally just started a new baseball team like weeks ago. I don't know anybody, but what I do is I wear my shirt. So it's kind of like just weaning them in to let them know a little bit about me. And then I let conversation start through that. Okay. And then they get to know me on a personal level. So it's really, really amazing. I realized that, let's see where I'm on time. Oh, we're already at 15 minutes. I'm going to cut it off because I know this is long. 15 is a long time. Through all of the goals that I've chosen to strive for and chosen to make happen, it has built my confidence to believe that I could do things that I never thought. One of the most amazing things that I literally put upon myself on my dream board, which to my old self told me, whatever, Jess, yeah, right. But then I said, why not? I put on my dream board to be the first superstar director in Nevada. And I'm so happy to say that when I promoted in 2016, I was and still am the only superstar director in the entire state of Nevada. That's huge. That's crazy, actually. But it means that there's so much room to grow, which makes me excited. I don't want to be the only superstar director in Nevada because that means that we're still really needing a lot more leaders. We need people that actually want to put this business as a business, because 97% of people just do it as a hobby and just to get their own products, which is smart and is great that that's an option. But that means that only 3%, 1 to 3% of Nevada does it actually as a business. So there's so much room to conquer and to achieve. So as far as a confidence, I'm going to leave it at this. If you've ever thought about joining Scentsy and you thought, oh my gosh, there's so many consultants, I just want you to know, as the only superstar director in the state, that if you ever were looking to build a business to whatever level, there's so much room for you. And I'd be happy, so excited to be able to share with you how to do that. So I hope you have a sensational day. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time frame. I'm going to say 10:30-ish because I keep getting on around like 10:33, 10:35. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.